things first, it's the DU General, Money B. I'ma put you up on the schedule, 6 to 9, 8 weekdays, not too unserious. We got a lot to talk about, so much to pedal through. Unapologetically progressive. Tune to KBLA 1580 to get the mess. We're your ancestors' favorite radio station. First black on talk radio, left side of the nation. Me and Dominique DiPrima go way back. Tag Smiley making sure the station stays black. Discussing all the issues in our community. We're hosted black and brown and others find unity. So let's talk about it. Maybe we can improve it. Digital underground, always down with the movement. So we tune in. The first things first with the queen of Black Talk Radio, Dominique DiPrima. Go sis.
First things first.
KBLA Talk 1580. Good morning and God bless. I'm Dominique DiPrima. The show is called First Things First. And my first thing today and every day, giving thanks, giving praises, and asking for blessings from the Most High. Asking for the blessings of the ancestors and the elders. And let's go. We got a lot to talk about. We're here for each other every day, all day. That's how we do it. And on a Thursday, this is how the show goes. Hour one, we look at what's going on here locally or what's impacting us here. Hour two, we go national, international, and beyond. And in the third hour, we do a deep dive on a person we need to talk to or a topic of interest or both. And we actually have a pretty full show today, which is cool. So hour three, we're going to talk about price gouging and what's being done about it. It's especially here hitting in California, but I guess that is a national issue. Hour two, Barrington Salmon, the journalist. I think he does say his L in Salmon. Barrington Salmon, the journalist, will join me and we'll talk about national issues. Of course, you're always welcome in every hour. And a little later this hour, we'll speak with Sabrina Foster, the mother of Glenn Foster Jr., as she calls on the NFL to help seek justice for her son who played in that league before being murdered by police. So nice, heartwarming Super Bowl call to action for you this morning. And I think timely at that. I want us to celebrate and enjoy, but I don't want us to lose sight of the fact that there's work to do, and the NFL, in its own ways, in this moment where the billionaire owners are quickly taking positions in the broligarchy, that we have to demand accountability no matter what else is or is not happening. So that's where I am on that. That's where we are this morning, and looking forward to all of these conversations. As always, you're invited in. Reminder, we're on social media, KBLA 1580, all platforms. We're actually broadcasting right now, streaming on YouTube at KBLA 1580. And I have my own YouTube channel. I have my own Twitter for now. We'll see how long that lasts. And especially Instagram. I'm on Fanbase now, Blue Sky now. I'm about to open a Spill account, but I haven't done it yet because I got to do these black-owned ones. In any case, I'm at DiPrima Radio, DiPrima, and then radio, except for Fanbase, where I will be just under my name, Dominique DiPrima. Happy Bob Marley's birthday. One love. One and all. One of my all-time faves is Solar Return is today. So we'll start off with a quick check-in from an organizer with the Clean the Airwaves project, born in Venice, Cali, near in LA. Y'all know where that is if you're if you're from here. Graduated from Southern University in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, with a degree in mechanical engineering. Has worked in utility and local university, and worked on the school system in Gary, and has also been an active member of many organizations and movements: National Society of Black Engineers, United African Movement, BLM Northwest Indiana Gary, the National Black Leadership Alliance, and now the Clear the Airwaves Project. Kwabena Rasuli, welcome.
Hey, good morning, Grand Rising, Sister Dominique. How you feel?
I feel blessed. How are you?
I'm good. It's good to be on with you and speaking with my home people, my city, like you said, where I was born and raised. So
Yes, the headquarters. So,
yeah,
so you guys are protesting the ever popular Steph Curry today at the crypto arena.
yeah,
Yeah, we love
yeah.
Steph Curry. I mean, you're from the West Coast. Okay, I'm a Laker fan, but still, Steph does a lot of great stuff in the community. He's a beloved and prolific, legendary basketball player, but you got beef with him. What's going on?
Man, this brother changed the game. Mark Jackson allowed him to shoot from 30 feet. I mean, now everybody's trying to do it. He changed the game, and still, look, still today, when I watch him, even after this, I'll be like, man, I'm hoping all these shots go in because I just enjoy, his work and what he did. And we were talking about Larry Ham, this activist out of Jersey. We were telling him about this campaign. He's like, man, that's like my favorite player too.
Right.
And so, but he missed the mark on this one. He's an executive producer of Good Times Reboot, Good Times Black Again Reboot, which is, of course, as many of us know now, like a remake of the iconic sitcom that came out 51 years ago now, and they got it on Netflix. It is an animation, and it is a disgrace. It is an embarrassment to our race. It is dangerous, and Steph should be ashamed of himself. And we just want to let him know, not just in L.A. We're going to be, the Lakers are hosting the Golden State Warriors tonight at Crypto Arena. The Bulls are going to be hosting them here in Chicago on Saturday night, and then in New York. We'll be seeing them in March. CMOTAP. This is CMOTAP. This is a committee to eliminate media offensive to African people. And we're tired of this. And the people. So, Dominique, the interesting thing about this whole Good Times piece is that when the trailer came out, when I finally caught it, it was like 300 people who had given it a thumbs up. Then I looked up, it's like 3,000 gave it a thumbs down. And it stayed like that. The last I checked, it was like 8,000 gave it a thumbs up, and 80+ thousand gave it a thumbs down.
Yeah. Well, last time we talked about this, I think we were talking with LeGrand Clegg, and so I went and watched it. I hadn't seen it. It's pretty outrageously bad. And, they have, I think, as a black woman showrunner on there.
Renata Shepherd, yes.
Yeah, but I was just really disappointed. And some people, I know we've got this whole FBA movement and stuff. Some people are blaming that on the fact that she's not Black American and maybe didn't understand the nuances of our culture. I don't know if that's a fair critique, but I know that it is under the guise of being comedy. It's wildly racially stereotypical and offensive in that light.
Yeah, it's not a fair critique. She knows better. She was born and raised in Chicago around the people. She knows better. She knows it's inappropriate. She even kind of admits it. But the issue is that you have a 2-year-old baby that's a drug dealer. The daddy then kicked him out the house. When he sneaks in the house and he's the daddy about to come home, the mama, he goes away and the mama sticks a Glock in his diaper to send him away. You got rappers who shooting it out with him. Not shooting it out with him, but shooting at him. A 2-year-old baby. Now, when this happens in reality, we all, it's, wow, somebody shot a child. And yet we're depicting this on the screen, on a cartoon, mind you.
That's funny.
12-year-old.
Yeah, it reminds me of, remember, I don't know if you were in LA then, that there was this whole controversy around this skit called Little Crackhead that was being done on a local radio station where I happened to work at the time. But it's just this sort of double standard of something that I just can't imagine any other community being portrayed in this way.
They wouldn't think about doing it to any other community. N-bombs are used throughout this cartoon. Calling our sisters bees. And like I said, the violence that's promoted, just like it's promoted in the slop hop music, that's been rewarded and awarded, as we see in these award shows that are taking place just this past weekend, and even the NAACP Image Award, stuff like that. So, but the thing about this piece is that so many people don't like it. Like with the hip hop, sometimes we let it get away from us, which is still a problem. It's very problematic. But with this Good Times, The people don't want it and don't like it. And they're talking about giving us another season of this crap.
Well, here's the thing about hip hop. You call it slop hop. I don't know. I feel like just like Hollywood movies, they make some are gangster, some are rom-com, some are, whatever other genres, sci-fi. With hip hop, we used to have more options, and that's where the problem lies for me. I'm not a big believer in censorship. So how is what you guys are doing in protesting the Good Times reboot, how is it not calling for censorship?
Well, we say that they do the censoring. If the music is not talking about slinging drugs, materialism, alcohol abuse, dropping N-bombs on us, or telling us to shoot and kill each other, or misogynistic, they censor it. The FCC has standards. They have decency standards in state, even though they uphold the First Amendment rights to free speech. But you can't play indecent or profane content between certain hours because our children are most likely to be listening. Obscene content, on the other hand, is never allowed. And this stuff is constantly, and it's only, like you just said, it's only done to us. It's only done to us. So when it deals with them, it's parental responsibility and all that. But when it comes to black folks, they always bring up censorship. But they're the ones who censor. They censor out that alternative that you talk about. I do a conscious hip-hop show out here in Gary. Been doing it for 26 years. There's so many artists out there still making great, conscious, good music. But it doesn't get played on the mainstream. We mentioned last night on the Community Education Network that Lupe Fiasco is from Chicago, one of the most celebrated artists in the worldwide. He never gets played on Chicago radio. They never play him because it's conscious. They censor him. So they are the censors. We're just telling them to stop playing music and stop putting this content out and don't make no cartoon where you got 12-year-old girls having their first cycle using the blood from their cycle to write on the chalkboard, taking the blood from their cycle and throwing it on their classmate. This is what's done on this cartoon.
Yeah. I mean, I did look at it.
Steph Curry's the executive producer.
So you're holding him accountable. What about, is anyone else being held accountable? The network, the sponsors? I know Simhotep has had great success targeting sponsors many years ago on the Larry Elder Show and other situations. Is it just Steph or is it other folks too?
No, it's NBA Commissioner David Stern. They sanctioned Kyrie Irving when he simply tweeted that people may want to check out this video that was offensive to a group of people. They fined him. They suspended him. They made him apologize. Here we have somebody who's executive producer that's under your ilk, NBA, the New Jersey Nets, all of y'all. And so why is he allowed to do this? It's offensive to us. So, yeah, we've gone after the NBA, and this is going after Adam Silver. Part of our information that we're sharing tonight and then on Saturday tells us to contact Adam Silver and give him the business. We've also been on June 5th in New York City and in Los Angeles. We met at the headquarters of Netflix, and we've been calling on people to cancel their Netflix subscriptions. Okay. So, no, it's been more than Steph, but Steph is executive producer. He has to get it.
Okay, so what are you calling on people in L.A. to do today? And I appreciate the update.
We need the people in L.A. to come out to the Crypto.com arena at 6 o'clock. We have a press conference at 6:15. We're going to be passing out the information, informational picket. We got a picket going on, and we're going to be letting Steph know that we're not tolerating this. We don't want a second season of this. Actually, we want what you got on right now to be taken off the air.
Okay, so that's the end game is get rid of the whole show, pull it from the airwaves, and don't give us any more of that.
Exactly.
All right, well, Kwabena Rasuli, do you guys have a website or something you want to share?
Yeah, you can. We got a phone number. You can call us at a CMOTAP 347-907-0629. And we have a website for the Clear the Airways project. It's Clear the Airways, and Airways is with a B, WAVES.org. So, yeah, and also you can give us a call for more information at 323-788-7111.
All right. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate the update, and we'll keep tracking how that's going.
We appreciate you for having us on. We can't take any more of this. It has to stop.
Oh, I appreciate the message and the mindfulness. We're talking with Sabrina Foster next. She's the mother of Glenn Foster Jr., and he was a former NFL player who was killed by police. She's going to tell his story and our call to action. KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-550-9651.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-550-9651. That's 800-550-9651.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
I have a dream today.
The road to freedom wasn't paved with just big moments. It was built day to day, step by step, voice by voice. This February, experience Black History Month through the stories that shape Los Angeles and beyond. KBLA Talk 1580, where Black history lives.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DiPrima right now.
Right now, getting back to Dominique DiPrima, getting back to a really important story that I think warrants some focus and intention ahead of the Super Bowl. Everyone's excited about the Super Bowl, and I think encouraging responsible and positive partnership with organizations like the NFL is part of what we, the people, are tasked with doing. Delighted to have this morning a guest who is an entrepreneur. She's an advocate. She's been a corporate manager, a property manager, a philanthropist, and has had a very successful career purchasing real estate, managing properties in Chicago, and is a successful woman and mom and wife in her own right. Sabrina Foster, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for coming on and sharing your story with us. You are on a mission now to find some kind of justice, some kind of result in the death of your son, Glenn Foster Jr. Tell me about Glenn first. Let's know him a little bit.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate you for having me. This morning, my son, Glenn Foster, we're from Chicago, and Glenn was a very great child growing up. He's the type of person, I'm just trying to build his character. He was a yes ma'am, yes sir type of person, very polite, honest, and people just gravitated towards him. He was just that type of person, whereas he was always well known and people loved and admired him. Anything Glenn put his mind to, he was able to accomplish it. He did not like sports growing up, but he was good at it.
Interesting.
Yeah. And listen, in high school, they stopped him and approached him, why aren't you playing football? Because of his frame, his build. And so he decided to try out in his sophomore year, and they ended up putting him in the varsity with the varsity team. He quickly learned the signs and the signals and how to play. Fortunately for him, he went into football in college. The top 10 schools were after him, and this is someone who did not play sports. Now, during the summer months, he did this and that, but it was nothing that he grew up yearning to play. The Saints called him during his senior year, and they asked him, if he wants to play for them. And that was that magic phone call that we were waiting for. He did go in undrafted, but the bottom line is that he didn't want to play football, but he was proud to be able to play and make his money. Glenn's thing was to use the NFL as a stepping stone for business, right? And he did it. He played for two years. And when I say to use the NFL, he didn't mind playing it. He was good at it. He was happy to be doing it. He enjoyed the people that he played with. He enjoyed the NFL, being in the NFL. He was proud to do it. But then he was injured. He became injured. He decided to start his own business. Again, he was a smart guy, so he said, "Hey, I'm just going to go ahead and start my own business. I hate to leave the NFL. They were good to him. He was good to them, and he started his own business. Glenn opened up he became a realtor. He and his wife took the test. 6 to 8 weeks, they were realtors. Then he decided to become a granite fabricator. That was his most successful business. He was always creating businesses. He opened up a coffee shop, he and his partner, in 2021. And then Glenn decided, I'm going to open up another business. I'm going to Atlanta and start meeting people. And he had a business meeting December 3rd, 2021. I didn't mention his wife and 4 beautiful daughters that he also had at this time. While driving to Atlanta from Louisiana, Glenn was pulled over one unfaithful night on December 3rd, 2021. And they claim, now this is their narrative, they claim that Glenn was speeding, and they pulled him over because he was driving recklessly. Now, mind you, he was driving in a sundown town. We didn't know it at the time, and of course he didn't know it. Now, I believe Glenn was probably pulling over to find out where he was. Maybe he was trying to get some rest. It was 11:30 at night, but we never saw Glenn again. We received a phone call the next day indicating that they had Glenn and that we need to come and pick him up. I don't know why they contacted my husband via email. They didn't call his wife. They didn't call his mom. When we went to bail Glenn out, we went to bail him out, and then we went to go pick him up, and the sheriff or the chief came out, and he says, "I'm sorry, something has just happened. Glenn had a fight with an inmate." I said, "Well, okay, can we still take him home?" He said, "No, he struck a officer. Now, it's a felony. You have to wait to go to court and see what the judge says." Not knowing all of this time, my son was being tased, strangled, and tortured. The next day we went to court. They said that, well, we can't do anything right now. We would like to have Glenn evaluated. During the time of the evaluation, we went home, got a phone call and said, "Ms. Foster, I'm sorry." I said, "Is my son dead?" And he didn't say, "I'm sorry." He said, "Sabrina, it's just the way he said it." I said, "Is my son dead?" he said yes.
Wow.
I just had the feeling. Yeah, I just had that feeling. And that's the saddest phone call. He had no reason to kill my son. And sometimes we don't realize that when we have the confidence in ourselves, people hate us. Glenn had great confidence in who he was. He was proud of who he was. And sometimes that can be a strike against you. Yeah, so that happened December 6th, 2021. And here we are in 2025, and we're still making demands.
Yeah.
We still have not received any videos, not a one. The Attorney General needs to release and make public the full transcript of the grand jury proceedings. You know, they said that there was a no bill, and that means that there was no findings. How can you have no findings? But yet, they did say that my son died of the black man's disease, cardiovascular, right?
Sabrina Foster, stay with me. We have news, traffic, and sports right here, and we're going to continue to find out where we are now. There is some legal action and how we can help. KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu supports President Trump's plan for the U.S. to take over Gaza and relocate its 2 million Palestinians. Netanyahu called it the first good idea he's heard. Trump aims to clear the destruction and redevelop the region. New York City residents face a treacherous morning commute due to a winter storm bringing snow, ice, and rain. Early morning snow will turn to sleet and freezing rain, making driving very difficult. Pennsylvania authorities are searching for those who stole 100,000 organic eggs worth over $40,000 from a truck in Greencastle over the weekend. The theft occurred late Saturday night. And Amazon will hold an event later this month in New York City where it's expected to give an update on its Alexa digital assistant. The company has been working to come out with a new version of the assistant with more advanced artificial intelligence capabilities. I'm Bree Wood on the Black Information Network, your home for Black News First.
If you were self-employed or a 1099 contractor and missed work because you had COVID or cared for an immediate family member with COVID in 2021, you may qualify for up to $32,000 for the Sick and Family Leave Credit. Visit taxcreditnow.com.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Lakers made a trade folks have been expecting after sending Anthony Davis to Dallas. Needing a quality big man in the middle to replace AD, the Lakers traded for Charlotte Hornets center Mark Williams, a 7-footer in his third season out of Duke. Williams is averaging 15.6 points and 9.8 rebounds. To get Williams, the Lakers gave Charlotte first-round pick Dalton Knecht, Cam Reddish, and a couple of future draft picks. It was tough for the Lakers to let Knecht go. Among NBA rookies, Knecht ranks 5th in scoring and 2nd in three-pointers. The UCLA women's basketball team set a school record with 22 straight wins. The Bruins beat Ohio State 65-52, 19 points and 14 rebounds for Lauren Betts. The number 1 Bruins are 22-0, 10-0 in the Big Ten Conference. USC's women's basketball team, ranked 7th in the country, cruised to an 86-64 win at Wisconsin. 15 points for Kiki Irefin, 14 for Juju Watkins. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
It's KBLA Talk 1580's 3rd annual Black History Month luncheon, and you're invited. This is year 2 of our climate justice work, and this year's $2 million 12-month campaign is all about linking and combating the relationship between climate and Black health. We already know that these wildfires will leave in their wake even greater inequities, including negative impacts on Black health, given the toxic air pollutants circulating in the air we breathe. So, as part of this year's climate campaign, we're honoring Black doctors and leaders in healthcare at our annual Black History Month luncheon, Friday, February 28th at noon. If you would like to join us, just go to our KBLA 1580 website and register for your chance to be our guest at the luncheon. We'd love to see you. And in case you haven't heard the news, KBLA Talk 1580 was just named one of the semifinalists for the American Climate Leadership Awards 2025. Caring about the climate, caring about the community, changing the conversation. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we don't black down.
See policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Individual results may vary. Consult a doctor prior to use.
If you've struggled to lose weight in the past, this important message is for you because you could lose as much as 50 pounds or more with Zelfie. Zelfie makes it easy and affordable to get weight loss treatment 100% online. Zelfie providers can prescribe FDA-approved GLP-1 weight loss medications clinically shown to help people lose weight, like Wegovy, Zepbound, and others. Plus, help get the medication covered by insurance, so it's as little as $0 a month.
The doctors are super helpful, and the meds have been a game changer. It's the first program I've had success with.
Before Zelfie, I was unable to lose weight, even though I was eating healthy and exercising 6 days a week. Zelfie helped me not only lose weight, but I feel so much better.
Text GOAL to 200-300 to get started today with Zelfie and see if weight loss medications like Wegovy or Zepbound are right for you. Don't wait. Text now for a link to your exclusive offer. Text GOAL to 200-300. That's GOAL to 200-300. GOAL to 200-300.
KBLA Talk 1580 stands with you, neighbor to neighbor, bringing you resources and what you need to know. For information on fire recovery resources, recovery hubs, and available services, call 211 for the City of Los Angeles and 311 countywide. Aid distribution locations, repopulation updates, and safety rules are constantly changing. Visit the LA City and LA County websites for the latest. If you'd like to sign up for the county's free debris removal, fill out a right of entry form, or get a list of disaster recovery centers that are still active, please visit recovery.lacounty.gov or call the debris hotline at 844-347-3332. If you're vulnerable to mudslides with rain in the forecast, free sandbags are being offered. Go to lacounty.pw/sandbags to find out where to get them. Businesses who have lost their facilities due to the fires can use a regional online source to get free or discounted locations. Whether you're interested in donating or finding space, you can visit the business-to-business Space Share portal at spaceshare.lacounty.gov. Additional LA County small business support and programs can be found at opportunity.lacounty.gov. Praying, advocating, and standing with you. KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
I do appreciate you, and we are talking with Sabrina Foster, the mama of Glenn Foster Jr., former New Orleans Saints defensive end who was killed, died in police custody, supposedly for speeding. But you were just explaining to us, Mrs. Foster, that you never really got the truth. You never got an accounting. You never got any videotape, the grand jury transcripts, or what you felt was a satisfactory explanation of what happened to your son.
Well, we don't know what happened to Glenn, only by what the second autopsy indicated. So as I did mention that, yes, they did say that Glenn died of natural causes. He was only 31. He was well fit, in good shape. He ate very well. But yet they want to claim that he died of natural causes. That was on the death certificate, and that was that. Until we received our second autopsy, our private autopsy, which indicated that Glenn was strangled, that he was tased multiple times, and that he was tortured. So yes, they tortured my son before they murdered him.
And the only way you knew any of this was by investing in a private autopsy that told a different story than what you got from the coroners.
It told the truth. It told the truth. It told us what we already suspected. Now, my problem is why didn't the Attorney General or the state attorney have a private investigator involved? But yet they use the State Bureau of Investigation to do the investigation. Now, this is a small town, so they're all on each other's side. Why did the state medical examiner office go along with this? He saw what our second pathologist saw. He saw the evidence. As a matter of fact, when we first saw Glenn's body, we saw the evidence. But why would the state medical examiner himself indicate the wrong findings? So with that being said, the grand jury called it they called it a no bid, meaning that there's no finding of evidence. Now, so what we would like to know is, what evidence did you all present to the grand jury? We want them to release that. Release the transcript, because now we have a different story and proof of what really happened to Glenn.
What was your reaction when you first got that second autopsy?
Well, I was already emotional. I've been emotional for 3 years now. So I was relieved that we still had the evidence and that his body indicated what was the truth. I knew that we had a strong fight on our hands now, I never believed their story, but I knew that because we had the proof, the pictures, all the evidence that the second autopsy showed, that we definitely had a good case. How it's going to play out in court, I don't know, because we know how things go in court, but I'm just going to stay prayerful that we win our case.
Yeah, so what does I know no court can bring Glenn Foster Jr. back, but what does a win look like for you? What does that mean?
I want everyone who were involved get convicted of their crime. I want them to be convicted. I want them to all go to jail. I want to press charges not only against them, but those who knew what actually happened and covered it up. I want them to lose their license, such as the Attorney General, or shall I say the state attorney who was involved, the coroner. The state medical examiner office should be fined. Everyone involved with the cover-up should pay for their crime. It's a crime to do that. And I also want to mention one more thing.
Yes, absolutely.
We never received Glenn's clothing, and we never received the jail uniform that Glenn wore. They disposed of it.
So they disposed of something that could have been considered evidence. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And what is the reasoning why they're telling you they won't release the camera footage or the grand jury transcripts to you?
Well, during that time, they said that the case was still under investigation. The case was under investigation. So we found out that I believe it was towards the end of 2022 when they had finished their findings. They had finished their investigation, and they still did not release any of the items nor the videotapes. So now they're saying that we have to file a judgment against them in order to get or to receive the videotapes, now that we have filed a case in court. So we should be able to get them, but they still will not release them.
Always moving the goalpost. It was just the end of last year, right, in December, that a federal judge said that your case could go forward, correct?
That was the happiest day since my son's death. Yes, I felt very relieved knowing that she's a white judge. Former president at the time, Trump, appointed her to that position. And yes, she felt that this case should go forward, yes.
And which is a huge victory, because at least you'll have your day in court, correct?
Absolutely, yes.
And have you spoken with the NFL? Have you reached out to the NFL? Have they reached out to you?
Well, the NFL has not reached out to us, nor has the New Orleans Saints. No one. Glenn's been demised since 2021. We're going into his 4th year. We have not heard anything from them. And as you know, the NFL is having a Super Bowl here this Sunday in New Orleans.
Yeah. Yeah, that's got to feel, well, how does it feel? I mean, the NFL's coming to town.
Well, I feel that this could not have been a better time for them to be in town. Black Lives Matter grassroots, they're spearheading, along with my family and friends and volunteers, a What Happened to Former Saints player Glenn Foster Jr. campaign. This is going to happen this weekend. We want to bring awareness to the masses. We want people who hadn't heard about Glenn Jr. to know that a Saints former player, Glenn Foster Jr., was murdered, and these are our demands. We would like for the NFL and the Saints, the New Orleans Saints, to honor Glenn, to make mention of Glenn. You know, the NFL, they have a social justice program. Never heard anything about it, but they have it. This is an opportune time for them to be on our side and to mention something about what happened to Glenn Foster Jr. We need it to be said on national TV. We want people throughout the United States and those who were involved to know that we're not alone. We have other people on our side. And the NFL will be a great way for us to get the word out that we're not going to stop and that we have other people like them on our side fighting for justice.
Yeah. Someone just DM'd me asking if you'd reached out to the Players Association to kind of go around the league and go directly to the union that represents players and see if they would step up in some way.
Yes, I did. One thing about Glenn, he had a list of everybody's name and phone number in his cell phone. And then a lot of his friends also, they kind of guide me to who I should talk to. And, this person's a former PA Players Association president. And I reached out to them. I reached out to the current Players Association president. And they're not so in contact with the upper management as we think they are. But I did let them know what our goal is and what I would like for them to do and what I would like to happen. So the word is still buzzing around the PA, which is the Player Association group of people, and I'm hoping that something transpire because, yes, the buzzword is out about what's going on with Glenn and how I would like for the NFL as well as the New Orleans Saints to honor him, to contact the family, to ask us what can we do. We do want them to do something and not just to say his name.
Yeah. Talking with Sabrina Foster, the mother of Glenn Foster Jr. He played for the New Orleans Saints. He was killed in police custody in Alabama. Case is pending. Still seeking some justice, some accountability. Want to know what we can do when we continue on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 is an intervention. When we come forward, includes you. KBLA Talk 1580, turning pain into power.
I feel so alone.
I'm embarrassed to talk about it.
How can I help my kid if I can't help myself?
I can't remember when I wasn't stressed.
I don't like it inside.
When you feel overwhelmed by your thoughts and emotions, it's okay to get help. You are not alone. CalHope is here for you with free, safe, and confidential mental health resources for youth, young adults, families, and you. Find support now at calhope.org.
I have a dream today.
The road to freedom wasn't paved with just big moments. It was built day to day, step by step, voice by voice. This February, experience Black History Month through the stories that shape Los Angeles and beyond. KBLA Talk 1580, where Black history lives. KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about. KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe.
The Live Your Life organization mentors young women, helping them break negative mindsets and see beyond their surroundings. Through career exposure and hands-on training, they're encouraged to think big, stay focused, and make positive choices. Founded by Nikisha Mama Boo Smith, who transformed her life to become a community leader. Live Your Life is changing lives, but they need your help. They're raising funds to keep their new building open and expand their program. Your donations will support food, clothes, hygiene products, and holiday giveaways. Visit liveyourlife32.com. That's LIVEYOLIFE32.com to help today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply or play stop, opt out. Individual results may vary. Consult a doctor prior to use.
If you've struggled to lose weight in the past, this important message is for you because you could lose as much as 50 pounds or more with Zelfie. Zelfie makes it easy and affordable to get weight loss treatment 100% online. Zelfie providers can prescribe FDA-approved GLP-1 weight loss medications clinically shown to help people lose weight like Wegovy, Zepbound, and others. Plus, help get the medication covered by insurance so it's as little as $0 a month.
The doctors are super helpful, and the meds have been a game changer. It's the first program I've had success with.
Before Zelfie, I was unable to lose weight, even though I was eating healthy and exercising 6 days a week. Zelfie helped me not only lose weight, but I feel so much better.
Text GOAL to 200-300 to get started today with Zelfie and see if weight loss medications like Wegovy or Zepbound are right for you. Don't wait. Text now for a link to your exclusive offer. Text GOAL to 200-300. That's GOAL to 200-300. GOAL to 200-300.
Broadcasting live from Leimert Park, USA. Welcome back to your home for unapologetically progressive radio. KBLA Talk 1580.
Talking with Sabrina Foster, the mother of Glenn Foster Jr., who was killed in police custody. And she is still seeking justice, still following legal action. It's not just you, it's your whole family. Glenn's widow, your husband. You guys have literally pivoted to community organizing, working for justice for your own son, but also helping others, other impacted families, justice families, correct?
Yes, you're correct. We work with other impacted families, families who are impacted by police brutality. And this is a family that no one would like to be a part of. It's unfortunate that we are here. All of us are crying the same cry, singing the same song, and it's amazing the different ways these families are suffering from the same type of death. And it's just amazing. Everyone has a different story, though. You know, my son was murdered. My son was killed. I mean, for what different stupid reasons? And it doesn't have to be that way. And people want to say, we are making progress. How can you make progress when we're still being hunted like the slaves were? Nothing has changed. People think because we have made progress with technology, black folks are working more, we're being hired more, but yet we are still being disrespected. They still don't look at us as equal. There's still inequality. There's still racism.
How did you feel when you heard the news that the NFL has decided to remove the end racism signs from the end zones of their fields?
I felt that they want to let other people know that we don't have to agree. We don't have to agree that we should end racism. And that's what social justice is about.
Yeah. So you guys actually have a chapter of Black Lives Matter Grassroots now, correct?
Yes, we do. We have a chapter. It's called Black Lives Matter Grassroots, NOLA. And this is up-and-coming chapter here. It started in July 2024. And I believe we're going to make some noise this summer. People are going to hear our voices and know what we want. We are going to be out there like everyone else, with Black Lives Matter Grassroots, fighting for justice for people.
Mrs. Foster, how has this whole scenario impacted your husband and your marriage, your family?
That's a good question. It just took a turn. Our marriage took a turn. My family, I have a daughter. Thank God I have my 4 granddaughters. That helped us to keep things wholesome. When you're angry because of something that you can't change or bring back, it stays with you for a while, and that anger transfers from your body to other people. It's how you lash out and how you respond and how you don't care, and those things happen. It's only natural for people to change their character or to not be that same loving person. And you wonder, why did he say that to me? Why did I say that to him? But you learn through therapy that what you're going through, it's a natural thing. And so over the past 3 years, yes, we've made some changes in our life, in our marriage. But the good thing is that we are now making progress and standing strong because we need each other to fight for Glenn's sake, for Glenn's social justice.
Yeah.
We need to stay together. There is so much that we need to do together, and the only way we can do it by standing strong with each other.
How can we help? What can we do? What can we do? What's our assignment this Super Bowl weekend and beyond?
I don't have the phone number, but I'm glad that you asked. I thought about that. I would like for people, if you can get the phone number to the New Orleans Saints facility and to Roger Goodell, he's the commissioner of the NFL, ask the question, what happened to former Saints player Glenn Foster Jr., and what are you all going to do about it? You have a social justice program. How are you helping the family? What are you all doing about this? This is a great opportune time. You're coming to Glenn Foster's town where he played at the stadium. And I feel kind of funny knowing that my son played there.
Yeah.
And they're coming here, and they need to say his name.
Okay, well, I found a couple phone numbers here. Roger Goodell, this is his speaker, his agent, I guess, but we can start there. It's 800-698-2536, 800-698-2536, or at the NFL League office, which is 212-450-2000, 212-450-2000. You can also send him a message on Twitter X at NFL Commish. NFL Commish. That's for the Saints. There's a bunch of numbers for the actual facility and guest services, maybe Caesar Superdome.
Yeah.
Guest services is 504. She's in corporate, so she knows which number to call. 504-587-3995. 504-587-3995. I'll put these up in my stories and on my Twitter so you guys can track them. And so you want us to call and say, we need to know what happened. We need to know what happened to Glenn Foster Jr. We need you to ask the question, do some kind of commemoration, do some kind of honoring.
Yes. Yes. And it's what happened to don't forget, former Saints player.
Right.
Number 97, Glenn Foster Jr. What are you all doing for the family? What are you all doing to honor him?
Yeah, I think it's an excellent question, and it's the perfect time for us to step up. Everyone's excited about Kendrick Lamar. People are always excited about the big game. But let's not forget who we are, where we come from, and what we need to be standing for.
Us. Yes, Glenn was there for them. He broke his back playing for them, So yes, a lot of those Saints players, they become injured for life. And then they get treated like they're no one. We have to stop that. We can't stand for that anymore.
Mrs. Foster, we got a minute and a half here. What do you want to let people know? What else should we be following, tracking, or whatever you want to say. I'm passing the microphone to you.
Well, I appreciate that. I want you all to look up my son's name on the internet. Glenn, Glenn, Foster Jr. There's a plethora of information online about Glenn. Get to know him, get to learn about him, get to care about him. We did not have any videos to show like George Floyd and all the others. We want you all to know who you all are caring about and wanting to fight for. We want to fight for justice for Glenn. We want to end qualified immunity. We want everyone to be concerned about this case. We want everyone to know about this case. He's one of us. He's your black brother. He's not just my son, because what happened to Glenn can happen to any of us. And I want everyone to feel it, to know that your brother is missing. He was murdered because of the color of his skin and because of his intelligence.
It's very well said. I know Black Lives Matter Grassroots is calling for folks to tweet about Glenn Foster Jr. during the Super Bowl. And if you go to blmgrassroots.org, you can get a toolkit, graphics, whatever. If you want help with your tweets, we want to do a tweet storm during the Super Bowl as well in support of this family. Mrs. Sabrina Foster, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. I want to thank KBLA, and I would like to thank BLM Grassroots. I really appreciate your service and your audience. Thank you so much.
My mic is your mic. Come back anytime. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu supports President Trump's plan for the U.S. to take over Gaza and relocate its 2 million Palestinians. Netanyahu called it the first good idea he's heard. Trump aims to clear the destruction